And I like the new press secretary. She seems good.
She's
Yeah,
good.
she's been busy. Okay, so hold on just a moment. All right, there we go. We are live on the tubes of you. All right, now let me try to share this doc, or actually, John, I'm going to send you a document. Can you share it? Because I'm not able to from here.
Okay.
Attachment, document. No, hold on. And then Susan, when we get to the point in the meeting, I was going to ask you to read the resolution about Willie McCoy.
Sure.
Okay. Where is my email? Thanks everyone for putting up with this chaotic mess that I call my computer. Okay, so you should have it here shortly. It's a PDF with the agenda.
This might answer your question.
Oh, computer, stop. Sorry. My Alexa decided to pipe up.
I'll let you know when it comes through. It's not come through yet.
Or let's see, can I send it via?
Of course, Susan.
Thank you
Congratulations.
so much. You did a great job too of overseeing it all, and it was really good.
Thank you.
It's a great.
Did you get him, John?
No, it still hasn't come through.
Well, Jonathan,
Hi there.
Hi, Jonathan.
Hey,
Oh, okay.
sorry, I found it, Tom.
Okay, cool. All right.
I was just dealing with a client who just told me that they're COVID positive at the end of their signing. Isn't that nice?
Oh no.
What?
I mean, they were wearing masks and so am I, but still it kind of freaks you out.
Yeah, really.
And something they should have disclosed ahead of time.
Definitely. I mean, that's heinous. All right, let's see if I can.
So
Okay, hold on. I'll send it from here. You know, just never lose your laptop.
Okay, Tom, got something. Hold on.
Oh, good. Okay.
PDF, just a moment. Okay, yes. I just
Okay,
need
super.
to
Share it.
Okay. Can you see it?
Yes. Yay. Through all the technical challenges. Okay, so we're going to call the meeting to order at 7:10. Sorry for the late call to order, folks. And we've got 10 members. We actually got 12 now. So that's good. Pledge of Allegiance, it's optional. You know, do we want to make it optional for this meeting? Because I don't, oh wait, no, I do have a flag. Hold on. Where's that? Where did
There's a flag behind you. We can just look at your picture.
Well, no, but I actually that cat has run off with my flag. We have a little kitten, and it takes like anything that's long into like a straw, and it runs off with it. Oh, wait, no, it didn't. I'm accusing it incorrectly.
Your
Oh.
poor cat needs an apology.
Well, he's asleep right now. So can y'all see the flag?
Yes. So we're
Yeah.
okay.
Okay, so I pledge allegiance
Allegiance
to the
To
flag
the flag of the
of
United
the United
States of
States
America
of America
and to the
and to the
republic
republic
for which it
for which it
stands,
stands,
one
one
nation,
nation,
under God, indivisible, with
indivisible,
liberty and
liberty
liberty.
and
justice
justice
for all.
for all. Okay. I don't say the under God because that was added in the McCarthy era, and I don't agree with it. Separation of church and state. Okay. Welcome, everyone. We want to acknowledge candidates for office as well as people who are here. So first we'll start with John Fox. He is a
Vallejo
member of
City's
the,
trustee at the Vallejo City School Board.
yeah, thank you. And then we also have the chairperson of the Democratic Party here in Solano County, Margie Olson. Thank you for being here, Margie. And she's also a member.
Nice to see everybody.
Yeah. And then we have candidates. We have Susan George, who is a candidate for ADEM.
Great,
Susan?
great to be here. Thank you.
Yeah, and she is. We also endorsed her, and then we also have Matthew Finkelstein.
If I had known that I was going to be introduced as a candidate, I would not have worn my bathrobe.
But if you didn't wear your bathrobe, you would not be you, Matthew. And then I am also a candidate. So thank you, Stonewall, for endorsing all of us on our slate. So that's great. Yeah.
And Brenda.
Oh, God, yes, Brenda.
Come on, Tom.
Hey, look, it's been a long day. So Brenda, speak up. Brenda is also running for ADEM.
Thank you very much for your endorsement.
Now we just got to win. Make sure
Yes.
there's no shenanigans. Okay.
Or Brenda.
We are actually, what was that?
I was going to say that's where I saw her name before. That Brenda's name.
Yeah. Yes. And there's a group of the candidates that have been endorsed by Stonewall that if you look in the email that was sent out last week that has that list for you.
Mhm.
So it's Susan, do you want to run through the names of everyone since I am forgetful?
Of the candidates, sure.
Of our
Endorsed
the slate.
ones.
Yeah.
Of all
Oh,
of the endorsed.
And I'm forgetting Jonathan Cook.
Yeah.
Cook, yes.
Yes, thank you for your endorsement, everyone. I appreciate it.
So let me find the for all of the endorsements.
I know Logan Legg was up north and then it worked its
Yeah.
way. Then Jonathan, then
We had Don Lowry and we had Hannah Hunley.
Anna Hunley, right?
And then on our slate, Susan?
On our slate, there is, hold on, I can bring it up right here. Give me a moment. On our slate, there is, in order of on the ballot, Matthew Finkelstein, Susan George, Thomas Bilbo, Brenda Crawford, Philip Maui Wilson, Carrie Birdseye, Steve Sillen, Ruskell Kianyang, Susanna Delano, and Leilani Casada.
nice. Leilani, that's right.
There you go. And Leilani is Karen Sims' protege.
Mm-hmm.
And she's also like a freaking wizard. She's fantastic. So the meeting minutes we will have to dispense with. We'll have to do those. Oh, wait, I'm moving ahead too far. I think that's everyone, right? Did I miss anyone? No, so thank you to everyone else who's here. We appreciate you coming and joining us. And when we can meet in person, we actually have a lot of fun. We are working on getting some speakers. We were trying to get Senator Dodd for this go round, but we were not able to get him here. Can we get an approval of the agenda? But I would like to John, can you scroll down for me for just a moment? Can you actually, we need to, under D, I would like to add one item that was left off, and it is the,
I'm gonna let Leon in.
okay,
Under D, add what?
the the California Democratic Party Chairs Forum.
Okay, I can't type it on, but we will amend it. We can approve that and we'll have
Yeah.
it put on. Okay.
Can I also add something to the agenda?
Sure thing.
The citizens appointees that Robert, the new mayor, is calling for. Just want to talk about a process to make sure that sufficient number of LGBT folks are aware of it.
Thank you.
So what is this again? Citizens what?
In the last newsletter, the new mayor suggested that each council member appoint 2 or 3, I think it was 3 or 4 citizens to act as advisors to them.
Oh, okay. Like a kitchen cabinet.
Yeah, kind of a kitchen cabinet for the council members. Yes.
Okay. All right. So I've got that added on the one that I have that I can edit. Should have sent you the Word one, then you would do it.
Any other suggestions?
Yeah, anything else?
I'll make a motion to approve with those 2 amendments.
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second, Carol.
Okay. Thank you, Carol. All right, so it's John, Fox, and Carol, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Aye, same here. Okay, good deal. Any abstentions? Any nays? Okay, no nays. All right, that's good. Meeting minutes, we will dispense with those because we actually did not have a chance to get them ready for this meeting. But we will have them and send them out and then look at the, vote on them at the next meeting. As for reports, because I lost my laptop, I don't have a chair's report to send you, nor a treasurer's report, but we've got money still, and we actually got a good bit of money now because people are paying their dues. Don't forget to pay your dues. So we're good there. You remember, dues are only $12 for the year, so it's pretty cheap or inexpensive. And then as far as the chair's report, I am working with a group of other clubs throughout the county and also throughout our region for the California Democratic Party. And we're organizing a forum for the chairs race and also for Region 2 directors race to have any candidates that are signing up to be for the California Democratic Party chair or the I'm about to lose my headphone. Our Region 2 director. We don't know if we are going to have a race in Region 2, but we figure we go ahead and put it out there so that if anyone is going to run, they can come. This is tentatively slated for March, later in March, after the Region 2 director candidacy is complete. But we will cover that. I'm skipping ahead in item E under new business. John, do you want to give a report?
My report will be under B coming up.
Okay. All right. Jonathan, do you have anything?
The only thing I was going to say is that we have a good chance to do some advocacy now that the Democrats control Congress and the White House with the Equality Act. And so I will send more information to the club on ways to advocate for that in the coming week.
Super. Okay. All right. All right, let's go ahead then on to old business. So endorsement meeting recap. So yeah, we had really wasn't a meeting because we don't do an endorsement meeting where we're voting anymore. We do a conversation meeting. We had a good conversation, good turnout of people who were interested in getting our endorsement. And we've mentioned them all before: Logan Legg, Don Lowry, Jonathan Cook, and Hannah Hunley from North and Mid County. And then we also had here in down in the southern part of the county, we had several candidates who we had 13 candidates who sought our endorsement, and we were able to endorse them. That it all went out. Those of you who are current members would have seen the what am I looking for? The actual results that came out. So as well as then we had an announcement that went out to the larger mailing list that we have, but the actual vote totals went out to what we call current and in good standing members. So only people who got over 50% were endorsed. So there you go. So we'll move on to new business. So item A is resolution for denouncing the DA ruling in the Willie McCoy case. And so I'm going to ask Susan George to speak to that and also go over a resolution. So that she has prepared, and we're circulating among the clubs to get buy-in so that we can bring this up to the Central Committee next week. It's on the agenda. Thank you, Margie, for putting that on the agenda. So Susan, do you want to take it over?
Sure. I'll just give a brief comment before and then go ahead and read the resolution, if that's okay.
Yep.
So there was a lot made. Krishna Abrams, who's the Solano County District Attorney, announced with great aplomb, and the local police department did as well. The head, Shawnee Williams, also did, that there was an independent investigator being brought to work with any cases in Solano County District Attorney. So it seemed that this could be, cases would be looked at more seriously, and they'd be examined more seriously, and perhaps a real investigation would take place. Unfortunately, the result was the same as all the others. District Attorney Abrams has not prosecuted any police use of force acts, unnecessary use of force acts from Vallejo. Nothing that's been brought to her has been prosecuted. No one has been disciplined. So it's a very unfortunate record, and it doesn't jive with the payouts, the huge payouts that are being given in civil cases. This resolution actually mentions one of them, but Vallejo is paying so much out in settlements in civil cases that involve police and unnecessary use of force or death, that often result in death. And it's to the point where we can't qualify for decent priced insurance. So we don't qualify for the insurance pools. It's so bad, and it's not getting better. It's getting worse. And it's part of what has brought our city into a state of emergency. And in fact, our city council is renewing that state of emergency for another 6 months. However, you might have noticed there's little that's been said about that. So I understand that Mina Diaz and some of the new council are going to ask more questions. We should be at the city council meeting demanding to know more about that. Why are we in a state of emergency? And a lot of it has to do with these insurance payouts because of the very bad, the misconduct of our police force. So with that, I will, if it's okay, I will read this resolution. And I might have started it, but it's the work of many people. Resolution on the need for justice to prevail in Solano County District Attorney investigations and prosecutions of police use of force incidents. Whereas when Krishna Abrams was elected as Solano County District Attorney, she took an oath to uphold the law and to prosecute criminal violations. However, in her 6 years in office, she has found in all cases of fatal shootings by police that they were without exception acting in self-defense. Even though in Vallejo there have been 19 killings by police officers in the last decade, and Vallejo police have the highest rate of lethal force in all of Northern California. And whereas in the case of Willie McCoy, a 20-year-old who was sleeping in his car at the drive-thru of a Taco Bell, the Abrams appointed special prosecutor, Michael Ramos, found in January 2021 that the 6 police officers acted in self-defense, though they had fired 55 bullets at Willie McCoy in the span of 3.5 seconds after he stirred from his sleep, with no evidence in multiple videos that McCoy pointed a gun or threatened the officers. And in the case of 33-year-old Ronell Foster, who was unarmed and shot multiple times in the back of the head by Officer Ryan McMahon, and was cleared by Abrams in January 2020 of any wrongdoing after McMahon gave chase to Ronell Foster for riding his bicycle without a headlamp. Yet in a civil case brought by the family of Ronell Foster, the city of Vallejo paid $5.7 million in settlement, and McMahon was one of the officers found responsible for killing Willie McCoy. And whereas District Attorney Abrams also found that Officer Zachary Jacobson was acting in self-defense when he fatally shot 21-year-old Angel Ramos for allegedly hovering over another man on the back porch with a knife, though there was no video of the shooting, no knife found on the porch, and Ramos's family and the man Ramos was purportedly attacking all maintain that Ramos was unarmed when he was fatally shot by Officer Jacobson. Therefore, be it resolved that the Solano County Democratic Party affirms its commitment to ensure Black Lives Matter in word and deed, condemns the culture of undue violence by police and those who enable it, and calls for justice to prevail in Solano County District Attorney investigations and prosecutions of police use of force cases.
Matthew has his hand up. Thank you, Susan, for reading that. And we will be sending this out. So go ahead, Matthew.
First of all, I wanted to say how grateful I am to have the privilege of being with a partner like Susan George and so many others who contributed to this resolution. And I'm very pleased that we can, that we can bring this before Stonewall and that we can win solidarity. And I guess I have a question for those of you on Central Committee. Is there any record of a resolution being passed on Central Committee that provisions solidarity to the victims of police brutality, that makes mention of Black Lives Matter? Has there been any outreach to the victims from the Democratic Party? And if there has been relative silence about this in the Central Committee, and I'm not sure if this is the correct forum, I want to be clear about asking about this, but as long as Margie's here, I'd like to know if there has been silence about this, about the police murders in the Central Committee, why there has been silence. And so I'm open to hearing some of this because, I'm fairly new to the Central Committee. I'd like to hear from those who have been on there about whether or not this kind of thing has come before you before.
So I'll speak as the chair of this meeting, because actually we did do a resolution earlier this year regarding the, I'm trying to find it, but of course I'm hampered a little bit because I don't have a computer. But we did do a resolution against police brutality and it was something around those lines. I think it's actually on the website for Solano Dems. So Margie, do you know anything? Do you have any recollection of that?
We passed 2 resolutions, and one of them I think was just straight in support of Black Lives Matter, and the other one was saying, and maybe Brenda remembers better, is saying that it was against children's health, or we passed 2 resolutions regarding the Black Lives Matter movement.
Yeah, I remember that we did, Margie. I don't remember the details, but you are correct. I do remember us doing that.
Yeah.
Has there been any mention
Oh,
of,
there was the mandatory mask thing that we did, and we did a resolution for Pride Month, but we did do one because I remember Tiffany worked on it for Black Lives Matter.
has there been any mention of the victims by name of police brutality and police violence and murder here in Vallejo at on any official?
So let me just say that, I'm sorry, I guess I'm out of order.
No, go ahead. You're recognized. Go ahead, Brenda.
Let me just say that this is bold language.
Yeah,
This kind of boldness has not occurred before.
right.
We sort of tiptoed around it, but we've never really called it out. And
Right.
so I think those of us who support this will push the Central Committee to a new level of accountability. You know, we'll push folks to deal with this, not in the shadows and not in generalities, but in specifics, you know?
May I be recognized, Mr. President?
Yes, go ahead.
Chair.
Stephen also raised his hand, so Stephen's
Oh,
next.
Stephen Howell, raised his hand. Go ahead, Stephen.
Yeah, go ahead, Stephen.
And welcome.
Thank you. I'm not necessarily opposed to this resolution, but I take a little bit of issue with throwing this at the feet of the district attorney for 2 reasons. One, this last call wasn't made by the DA's office. A special prosecutor was brought in. But even more than that, okay, we say we condemn the decision that's been made by the prosecutor's office. This all started long before it got to the prosecutor's office. This started with the people that we hired, with the people that we promoted, with the people that we have allowed to control the politics in this town for so long. So, you know, saying that we're unhappy with the decision that the district attorney made, I mean, like I said, I'm not opposed to that, but there's people a lot more culpable who I believe need to be called out.
Okay. Matthew, you were next.
Thank you. I appreciate that perspective. However, the district attorney has a record, long-standing record of avoiding prosecution, and the buck stops somewhere. And I agree with you that there's a few more bucks to stop here in Vallejo, and it may be that there's a resolution that we pass separately that talks about the behavior of this police department, given the proximity to Krishna Abrams' decision, to the DA's decision, given the consistency with which she's done that, and given that eventually she's going to be up for election. I would actually go further than just saying this resolution should stand. I believe that it should go before the Central Committee, and that upon being passed, it should be forwarded to every Democrat on the mailing list in our county.
So we can take that up with the Central Committee as far as what we do next, and Margie will make that decision at the Central Committee. Margie, you had something?
Well, I was just going to say, I found the resolution, and it does have everyone's name on it. We call out the names of those who've been murdered at the hands of police in Solano County, and there's a long list.
Oh, good.
That's fantastic.
So we have that one about The Democratic Party believes in the American dream and the promise of liberty and justice for all, and it names all the people. And then the other one was that that we are calling racism a public health issue.
That's it.
Those were the two resolutions related.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Yeah, so we have done that, but I do think that this issue and this particular ruling, I mean, I'm going to take a point of personal privilege, is actually something that we should call out, because to say there was nothing wrong with shooting a man 55 times as he slept in a car, there's a problem. And then, so now the chair recognizes Susan George.
Susan, you're on mute.
Thank you. There you go. In July, Solano County DA Krishna Abrams appointed Michael Anthony Ramos, special prosecutor, tasked with determining if 6 Vallejo police officers are criminally culpable for killing Willie McCoy outside of Vallejo Taco Bell in February 2019. So this was part of the whole thing. If we're bringing in special prosecutors, it's going to be much more independent, and she is completely responsible for the appointment.
Okay, anyone else?
Yes. I agree with this, but I want to explore more what Stephen said, because I feel that if we don't look at the local level and see where it goes from there, or where it started and progresses from there, that we're not addressing the full issue. So I think there needs to be work done to put the screws to the ones at the local level, so it doesn't keep going or keep reoccurring. So
so what we
I don't know how to do that, but I would like what Stephen
So
said.
we actually, just if I may,
Go ahead.
under item D for this, that is what we're going to do regarding that. We'll be discussing that.
Okay.
But I think for this resolution, it's denouncing the ruling of the DA and the special prosecutor.
Yes.
Not specifically the entire systemic racism and police brutality issue. That is a bigger conversation, and also a lot more action needs to be done. But we can take it into smaller bite-sized chunks, and that's what this resolution is about. Okay, so any more discussion? Okay, hearing none, can I have a motion to vote on this issue and to accept it? Okay, thank you, Jonathan.
Second.
Do we have a second? Okay, thank you,
Second.
Liat. Okay, I can't do polling right now because of this craziness that I'm living in. For a tech guy not having his computer, it's maddening. So we're going to do a vote by voice, and I'm going to ask for first all the yays.
Yay.
Yeah, if you could.
Yay.
Yes. Brenda Crawford, yay.
Julie
Okay.
Stratton, yes.
John Fox, yes.
Susan George, yes.
Margie Olson, yes.
Liat, yes.
Matthew Finkelstein, yes.
Stephen, yes.
Thomas Bilbo, yes.
Jonathan Cookins.
Great, thank you. Okay, any more?
Chris, yes.
Oh,
Dawn,
thank you, Chris.
yes.
Thank you, Dawn. Okay, any nays? Okay, any abstentions? Or abstained? Okay, hearing none. Okay, the motion passes. We are good. Okay, we will do this resolution, and it will go up to the Central Committee. So Margie, I'll be sending you this resolution to pass on to the committee. And we'll find out who else has adopted it, but at least Stonewall has now officially adopted it. Okay, moving on. Well, this is like a real business meeting. Uh, Item B, John Fox, that's a you thing.
Okay, I also passed my report, so I'm going to start with my report and then move into B. So for my report, as a trustee in the school board, our new superintendent is doing really well, William Spalding. We just talked with him yesterday about meeting his goals, and so it was a long meeting. We're looking at next year, going into this coming year, a 6.3 million deficit. And with funding and meetings going on with the state, it looks like that number is going to be going down. I'm hopeful, hopefully half of that. But even with that, over the last 2 years on the board, I mean, up to almost 20 million in cuts, closing 6 sites. It's just been, it's been grueling and horrible. All the cuts and trying to right size the district or finally clean up the mess. So for the 6.3 million to come down, hopefully to about, well, maybe 3 million, it's still a lot. It's still going to be very painful with cuts in jobs and stuff. Anyways, so that's the latest with that. Let me think what else. We're getting, I think we have about 90% we're at now for distance learning, the attendance ratio, and it's going a lot better. We're still trying to reach out again with equity to make sure everyone with their devices and their time and being able to access everything. And there's been so many challenges, and still giving out food and just trying to meet the needs of our families and our community. It's just so grueling. We will not be going back to school. Probably, we're not even going to talk about it until March. And that will segue. Of course, we're done the second week in June, but there will be monies available for summer programs. And what the hope is that there'll be a lot of intervention money for going forward in summer, so we can get students in, especially our EL students, our homeless, our foster care students, that we can get them into programs in the summer to help them to go back in August, the regular school year. Hopefully we'll go back in March, hybrid, half and half. So that would, if we do, it just depends on COVID. COVID's in charge. It's not the school board, it's not the governor, it's COVID. So I'm hopeful that maybe March, if people start listening and following the guidelines. So if we see March, we'll have some of March, a little bit of April and May, but hybrid. So maybe towards May might be more full-time. It just depends. We're getting all the models ready so that we can go, depending what happens again with our numbers. There's a lot of, as you know, even for us adults, not being able to connect. If you can think of children not being able to socialize, especially small children, to not do a little play and not be able to have a birthday or not be able to see their friends, this effect has been so hard, the social and emotional. So coming out of that is, and also the gaps in learning, the connection with the teachers and the students. It's happening somewhat online, but just as you see with all these meetings, you feel the disconnect. So it's very, very difficult. So it's going to take a while to rebuild after this. Anyways, what I want to get to B now. For B, educational updates in California and federal funding. There is money coming in, and I appreciate with our new president talking about that, and he wants schools open in the first 100 days. But what I want to specifically talk about right now is safe schools for all. Our governor, I've always been a great fan of our governor, but right now with the Safe Schools for All, there's a huge discrepancy with funding our schools in California. He wants us to not only have all of our plans ready, but he wants us back in school in February. Well, we can't do that. That's impossible. When you have your numbers and your death rate in your county so high, you're not allowed to go back. So I hope it bothers you as much as me that how can you take away funding when it's out of our control we can't open the schools. There's no way we can open the schools, but yet our funding per child is going to go down as a percentage the longer we don't open. So it's just such a, I don't know, I just get so angry about it. Los Angeles and other districts were fighting this and trying to say we should all get the $450 per student. And when it's safe, our county is allowed to, then yes, we have the plans in place. We will go back to school like everyone else. But you should not penalize us or hurt our students that will not get the maximum funding when it's out of our control. So that's where I've just been so upset these last few weeks about that. And I just hope, I know that Gavin Newsom is under a lot of recall things and a lot of parents that are saying, just so angry their kids are in school, but they're not seeing the whole picture and putting all this pressure. So it's just been very frustrating because I want every penny possible, not just from the state or from the feds, so that our kids in Vallejo get every chance for these interventions and to get back in school and to start next year. We will get one-time money that will have to be spent by September of 2022. So the one-time monies we will get will all have to be used for COVID related, again, for interventions and services, PPE, and so it's very tagged what the money can be used for. And again, just one time only. So that's, I think, pretty much. Oh, and then, so this next year, like I said, about 3 million in cuts down from 6.3. But then we're worried about 2 years out, and not just, I know with the city as well, but school districts are also very concerned, our 2-year out forecast, because of property taxes so far from what we're seeing are being paid. So that's helping with funding. But we're wondering what's going to be happening after, with people losing their jobs and other things as COVID progresses, what's going to happen financially 2 years out after this. So there's just so many variables right now. It's just, I just wanted to give an update, but the part that I'm just really upset with the governor's Safe Schools for All and how we're going to get penalized the longer we don't go back, but it's out of our control. And I feel that should be addressed and challenged. And I don't feel that that's definitely not equity, and that's definitely not funding everyone the same. So there's my my report.
Thank you for that, John. So is there anything that we should do now regarding this, or should we wait and take action? We're asking for better funding or more equitable funding at our next meeting.
I feel that Gavin's just playing politics because the pressure on him. I'm hoping he'll cave in when it comes time, but I don't even know how to answer that. I'm so upset with dirty politics right now with that, that I don't really know how to address it other than putting pressure on him that it needs to be, if it's out of our control, everyone should get the same amount of, every child should get the same amount of money in every county when it's safe. And don't take away the money because it's out of their control, because of their numbers.
Okay.
That's the only way I know how to phrase it to get the message to him, which he knows that. So that's the part I don't understand. He knows the numbers. He knows what each county, he knows the death rates in each county, and you can't get out of your tier to let the schools open. So it's like, I just can't comprehend this because it's not logical.
Yeah. So what about Tony Thurman? What is his position on this?
I actually have not heard him come out with anything as of yet. I think he's just going along with what the funding from the state is. So I don't know. And we
It seems to me,
and we haven't even heard from the national, just a second, Brandy, the national level. I mean, I'm so thrilled Betsy DeVos is gone, but I can't wait to find out who's going to be appointed at the federal level, so that hopefully, Brenda.
No, I was just saying, to me, it seems to me that you all may want to get in touch with Tony, and that he needs to come out with a position around this whole thing. You know, you all are not responsible for the pandemic, and I certainly agree that the schools should be fully funded regardless. You know, as it is, we don't fund our schools to the point that we need to anyway. So I would certainly think that a call or a letter of inquiry to the state school superintendent about where he stands on this would be called for.
Okay. Thank you for that, Brenda. Matthew, I see you have your hand up.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you, John, what kind of solidarity can we provision you with these clubs? And is there maybe like a letter that we can all sign to Tony? And like, where do you need the help the most to help get the message out there? Who do these people need to hear from?
Maybe this we were talking about the Central Committee. Maybe that would be the Solano County Democratic Central Committee, and then all the other committee, all the other ones in the county. If we all had, maybe that would be strong. I'm not sure. I think that would help. But another thing that I forgot in my report I need to say real quick is liability. One thing that the schools throughout the state of California are also fearful about going back to school is because of liability and we need legislation. We need legislation quick. I wish Dodd was on tonight, because if we don't get legislation quick to protect public schools against liability. So say people then say, my child came home with COVID and want to trace it back to the school. And all these lawsuits start happening. Our school will be bankrupt. We will not have public schools. So there's no legislation right now that to address that. So the superintendents and public board, the boards across California were like, where is this legislation to protect us so we can go back, so we don't all get sued and go bankrupt. So that's another huge issue that I forgot to put it to address in my report.
So can I make an ask of you, John? Can you consider taking the energy that you've been saddled with here and thinking of a well-worded statement that we can sign on to about the needs? I think this should focus on Vallejo because, I mean, but I'll let you decide what's best, but, and something that we can sign on to that's tractable. I think we want to help you, but I think you're the person with a vision here.
So yes, I would like to do both the liability and of course the equitable funding.
Okay, and so if we could get the sorry, I'm trying to so for the what you want the club to do and also the central committee, have we also reached out, or are you guys reaching out to the Solano County Board of Education?
Oh, we're all under the same, we all get the same. So no, we get information from the county, the health department, and through the county office of education, but all the schools in Solano County, we're all in the same boat. So, I mean, our numbers in each city are a little different, but as far as the county, no, we're all getting the same information and under the same parameters. So.
Okay.
But each county's death rate, so they look at the death rates, unfortunately with the COVID, for the cities and the county throughout the state. Stephen probably knows all this too, that once you're at a certain number, you legally, you can't go back to school. So but then how can you hold funding from someone when you tell them you can't go? I don't understand that.
Yeah. Okay. So if you, so for our next meeting, John, if you could come up with what we need to put out there. And then Margie, we're having public comment at the Central Committee meeting, right? Margie, you're on mute if you're trying to. So there will be public comment. There's usually public comment at a regular meeting. So maybe you could bring this to the Central Committee through public comment, because I know you are you're a member of the committee as yeah. So actually, yeah, that would be the time where you could bring this up, since it probably will not be on the agenda because we're under 10 days now and the agenda is set. But yeah, so you can bring it up to public comment. And then if we get any kind of, if you can sort of craft whatever the resolution or the statement you want from the different clubs to show support, then we can do that.
Okay, thank you. And thank you, Matthew, for your ideas. Everyone, thank you.
Yeah.
It's just, we're in such this pandemic's hell as it is, but to deny children money because I won't, yeah. Anyways, thank you.
Leadership, John. Thank you for your leadership.
Sure.
John, can you, I'm sorry to do this to you again, but can you look in your email? I sent you the updated agenda where we added the 3 items.
Do you want me to stop sharing and go look for it?
Yeah, if you could, please.
Okay.
Because where we added the 3 items on the agenda, I updated the document and sent it to you. Actually, it's just 2 items. Sorry.
Okay, so you want me to share this one?
Yeah, if you could, please. That'd be lovely. Okay, so now we're on to ADEM election support for endorsed candidates. So what we're going to talk about here is we have our endorsed candidates and we need to get the word out that we want them to be voted for. We will be sending emails from the club's email account and MailChimp to all the people that we have on our mailing list. We've already done that once, of course, when we announced, but we will be doing that again. But we're asking people, if you go on Facebook, you can look for Hannah Hunley, you can look for Don Lowry, you can look for Jonathan Cook, and you can look for the other candidates from Vallejo. We actually have a Facebook page where we're coordinating our campaign, which is the AD14 Progressives for Change. Susan, if you have that available, if you want to post that in chat, you can share our slate card, as well as you can share the images of the other candidates and ask people to vote for them to your social networks if they have gotten a ballot. I know in Solano County, or in AD14, we have actually gotten like almost 2,000 people requested ballots. So it's important that we make sure the word is out there. Okay. Susan, do you have any comment on that? Susan is our ringleader.
Tom, I'll post. Did you want me to post the Facebook or the website?
Well, either one, I guess, or both.
I'll do both. Here is our Facebook page. If even just going on there and liking things and giving it some attention is great.
Yeah, and then you can also share it, and you can also, we have videos out there.
Yep.
So you can actually look at the videos and learn more about the other candidates that are not on the call tonight, or that you didn't hear from. and that will give you all that stuff.
Tom, may I add one other thing?
Go right ahead.
So this would be for all of the Stonewall endorsed candidates. Many people still haven't received their ballots. So the ballots went out through yesterday. So it's very possible that people won't receive their ballots until Monday. And some could even trickle in after that. So then the new deadline, this is all in our information, but then we're asking people to send them in by the 23rd. But in the event anyone gets it after that, just please tell them to send it in immediately, because they need to be postmarked at the very latest January 27th and received in Sacramento by the 30th. So we just don't want to delay. I learned today from the staff person coordinating all this that they are keeping in very close touch with the post office. They're coordinating, they're making sure that everything's moving along. But Emma also said if people, even people that requested ballots in early January, it's possible that those didn't go out until yesterday. So just so you know, when people, just let them know that they should still get them, but there is an email address, which I will post in here. If any of your friends have any trouble, it's adam@kadem.org, and they can just find, they can say, where's my ballot? Find their original email confirmation. But the most important thing for all the endorsed candidates, what you can do is reach out to your personal networks and just say, these are the people, you know, Stonewall, we interviewed them, we really stand with them, and I hope you will cast your ballots for these people. That would be a great push at the very end.
And I'm gonna just push this up there. This is what the envelope will look like. I don't know if people can see me, but it will look like this. And it'll say CADEM. Kadem, that's California Democratic Party. Okay. All right. Organizing for citizen oversight of the Vallejo PD. Brenda, do you want to talk about this since you're the ringleader there?
Sure. Voices of Vallejo and the United Dems and Stonewall and the Jewish Democratic Club and Vallejo Peace Project and just a number of organizations, Reform Vallejo PD. We all got together and had a community forum last night where we invited people from the Oakland Coalition on Police Accountability to come and speak with us around how we need to move forward to make sure that we hold these police folks accountable in this town. And so we will be doing follow-up meetings to that. I also heard that there was someone in the audience from Common Ground who was there. Our intent is not to reinvent the wheel. Our intent is to really be kind of the convening group voices I'm talking about, convening group to bring all of the various players to the table. It is way past time that we all come together around this one issue, one purpose, singleness of purpose, to stop these folks from killing people and to hold them accountable and stop paying out these ridiculous sums of money. And I say ridiculous because no money is great enough when you lose somebody to police violence. But we can't afford it, and it's obscene that we keep paying it. Excuse me. I was on a roll.
Go ahead.
I was on a roll. I'll end it. But let me just say that you know, we do all need to come together around this. I have news that I was talking to Don Jordan today, and Liat will be interested in this. And Don said to me that the African American Alliance wants to come to the table, and that he spoke to Jimmy Jackson, and the NAACP also wants to come to the table. The next time we have any meetings where we're pulling all the community groups together to deal with police accountability.
Thank you, Brenda. Sorry about that. That was my fault. I was trying to get the link to the video, to the live stream for that, and it actually came on live. So sorry about that.
Oh, that's all right.
Yeah, so I'm posting that in chat. So if you want to go watch the meeting that we had, that is the link to the YouTube live stream that we did yesterday.
Yeah, and one of the a pleasant surprise that came out is Lalani, her cousin was there, and who works in San Francisco, and I'm assuming that we got her contact information.
Yes, we did.
Because San Francisco apparently has a model that is worth us looking at as well, and so maybe we need to look at having another forum with different folks. Lalani also sent me a note about, I think it's her friend or her cousin that works in Austin, Texas, that supposedly has a wonderful model too that has been working very well down there, where of citizens oversight. So we still have our work to do in terms of the research.
Yeah, and I did reach out to Leilani's cousin, and she gave me her email address and everything, and asked her for a follow-up. As soon as I hear back from her, I'll schedule a meeting with all of us that were involved in that to do some more data gathering. And then the next meeting that we'll be having will actually be talking to, or providing a space for the families of victims of police violence here in Vallejo to have a conversation with the community. That will be in February, I believe we said, right, Brenda?
Yeah, February.
Yeah.
And hopefully by having these various meetings where we're focusing on different areas of bringing folks together, and certainly having this driven by the families who've been most impacted by this violence is a new beginning for us all, to just for once and for all come together as a total community to just stop the madness.
Yeah. Okay. Does anyone else have any questions or statements about the organizing for citizen oversight of Vallejo PD? I know that is a specific to Vallejo issue, but I think it's something that we need to talk about and potentially look at elsewhere in the county. But in Vallejo, it's actually quite alarming things that are going on. I see Matthew Finkelstein, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I wanted to ask about that second meeting where families are being invited to participate. Is that another Voices of Vallejo event, or who's hosting that event?
Voices will organize and bring folks to the table, but it may be, I mean, I don't know who the family groups are, but the family will certainly take the lead. We'll just bring people to the table.
Yeah, what we're doing is we're providing them a space,
right?
For them to, and the technological aspect of it, for them to have the conversation. And we want it. The idea was brought about by Maui Phil, and also A Plus. That was at the meeting, where they were like saying, you need to involve the family, and we recognize that, but we wanted to also recognize that they need their own space, and to have a way of communicating with the community so they know what's going on. Because I don't think a lot of people have not heard the grief, heard the pain from their own voices. They've only read it in a paper. Okay, Joseph?
Yeah, I just have a question about how to find out more information about both Reform Vallejo PD and Voices of Vallejo.
They're both on Facebook, and they both have websites. So Reform Vallejo PD has a page and a group, and then Voices of Vallejo is on Facebook as well. Okay. And there's a website, voicesofvallejo.org or com. Do you know, Brenda?
.com.
Yeah. And that is is Voices a PAC?
Voices is a progressive PAC, registered PAC in the state of California.
Yeah. So that's here local in Vallejo. So, and I know they are always looking for people who can help with stuff, Mr. Hayden.
Yes, we are.
Yeah. Okay. So,
Brenda. Sorry, I wasn't able to attend the meeting. I wanted to, but I couldn't attend yesterday. I do want to be involved though. I want to talk about something that you said, the models. This that is so powerful. If the more models that we can find where other cities are dealing with this, with similar demographics or similar issues across this nation, well, hopefully within the Bay Area or California, but within the Bay Area, all the models that we can find and tap into that people are willing to share, those resources and those ideas, it's going to save us time and it's going to make this go faster because people are already working on this. And I just want to say thank you for that. And then hopefully we can share the different, you can compile and then share the different models to show how are cities dealing with this and how are they moving ahead. So I just wanted to let you know, thank you for sharing all that. And I hope to hear more.
Okay. Yes, we all are at the table looking at the models. And of course, we know that there's no one model that fits all. So whatever we find out, we have to tailor it to meet the needs of those of us who live in this city,
Yep.
Exactly. Thank you.
Okay. Any more about that? Okay. We'll move on to item E, which we added at the beginning of the meeting, the California Democratic Chair Forum. So I have reached out to several clubs here in Solano County, and then also over in Contra Costa County, we're reaching out to them, and in Napa as well. I have already reached out to the American Canyon and also the Napa Valley because we're all in Region 2. And we're also reaching out to some in Yolo County about hosting a Region 2 chair forum, as we've done in the past for a while, at least 2 cycles I know of. And so we're going to do that again, of course, online. It's all virtual, and it's going to be in March. There is no expense because we're not having to rent a facility or do anything like that or have anyone travel. So it's a good thing. But I would like to get a motion from the club or approval for the club to actually do this so that it's all above board and everything. Because right now we're still in the planning phases. So I just would like to get buy-in from the club on doing this. This would be to ask the chair, the candidates for chair of the California Democratic Party to come and be part of this. And then also anyone who is running for Region 2 director to actually be part of it. I don't think we have ever talked to any candidates for Region 2 director or any of that because it's been a while since anyone ran. So against the actual incumbent. So we're looking to have that. That's if there is someone that's running against the incumbent. So if I could get a motion for Stonewall to organize and host a California Democratic Chair Forum and Region 2 Director Forum with other clubs in the region.
I make a motion that we host.
Okay, we have a motion from Susan George and a second from, I believe that was you, John?
Yes.
Okay. Any discussion? Okay. We will be looking for you guys to share our promotion for this through your personal networks and everything, but we already have everything sort of ready to go because we posted it before. So I actually have all that saved up. So look for that. I would like to now call for the vote. So all in favor of the club organizing and hosting this and being for the Region 2, say aye.
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 Hi.
Aye.
Any nays? Any abstentions? Okay, hearing none, it passes. Okay, so now the next item is by Brenda Crawford, Vallejo Citizens Advisors to City Council Members. Brenda?
Yeah, I think it was last week, Robert posted something to Facebook. I'm assuming that he's doing kind of a weekly newsletter. And he posted that he thought it would be a good idea if each council member chose maybe 2 or 3 private citizens to be advisors. And again, I'm, as you said, Tom, like a kitchen cabinet. And the reason I bring it up is because the young woman who ran for mayor that nobody actually knew, Avenel Huntley Mills, contacted me and asked me if I would make a recommendation for her to get a seat as one of those citizen advisors. I'm not sure because I don't know anything that she's done. I mean, I just met the woman, so we need to really talk about what her history is and what she's done. But it dawned on me that those positions are critical positions and could be learning areas. They're areas that we can promote folks to become kitchen cabinet members for council members, and that as a way of increasing their learning, and also developing kind of folks who have interest in running for office. And one always makes sure that there are LGBTQ folks in that list, in that group of folks who may want to use this as a learning opportunity. So I just wanted to bring it up and see whether or not you all had heard about this that Robert is suggesting. I don't know if in reality they voted to do this or not, but I just thought it was an interesting concept. And somebody from the community has already reached out wanting a recommendation.
Okay, and that is, they would reach out to their city council members within their district?
Again, it's really not clear
Okay.
how this is going to roll out. Robert suggested that each council member have a kitchen cabinet.
Mm-hmm.
I know that.
I think it's a great idea.
I think it's a great idea.
I know that some council members already have one, and a group of advisors that have been working with them through the campaign. These are new folks. So I just want, if they are going to start doing this, to make sure that LGBT folks are in these cabinets.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I know Mina reached out to me regarding this, and I also suggested John Fox since he is in her district.
All right, so Mina has reached out. So they are folks who are already reaching out, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. I did not know that it was a actual thing though. She was just saying, I'm looking to get some people to help me steer this ship. Can you be one of them? And I was like, well, sure, but I think you also need to get some people in your district. Because I'm not in her, I was a supporter, but I'm not in her district.
Right.
But I mean, I support her even though I'm not in her district, because what's good for District 3 is good for us all, hopefully. And hopefully we can get a fire station there. Okay, and so if anyone wants to know more, I'll reach out to the council.
I think you should reach out to Robert. Reach out to Robert and ask him what was his thinking about.
How
did he envision this?
Yeah, and then also maybe reach out to the rest of the council as well to see if any of them are pulling people in, and let people know that they can reach out to the city council. If you go to the city website, you can find the email addresses for all of the council members. So in your area, so like Joseph, you are in Mina's district.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm in, don't have a council member. I guess Robert and Hakeem's district, even though Robert is all over. But I know he lives here in District 5. And yeah, I don't know who else is where. But anyway, so you can also on the city website, you can find your districts.
I'm in District 6.
Who was that?
Tina Ariola.
Oh, that was no. I'm sorry. I was asking who
this
was
is Dawn.
speaking. Dawn.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, it didn't show up with your name. Okay, cool. All right. And yeah, I believe that they have. I believe Tina is starting one too, but I think she mentioned that last on the 19th. But yeah, so yeah, if you want to get involved, it's great. Reach out to your council members that are there and make sure they know that you want to be involved. Right. So moving on, items for future agendas. Do we have anything?
We already discussed having speakers, so we know
Yeah.
that's there.
Yeah, there is a young lady, or I'm saying a young lady, there is a lady that has reached out to me to come in and speak to the club. And so we'll be having her next. And I did talk to Senator Dodd's field rep, but the senator was busy because it was a short week this week and there's stuff going on with at the Capitol. So he was not able to meet with us this week, but we will try and get him back or get him here as well. And then we also want to get our other elected officials in here, maybe even the mayor of Vallejo and some of the people that we supported throughout the county to come and talk at our meetings and let us know what they're doing. Because I think it's, yes?
I'd like to also, we're going to be starting up our movement for the Community Land Trust from the Vallejo Housing Justice Coalition. So
Oh, yeah.
if you could please find some time, we'll have someone come speak to that as well.
Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah. So would that be, is it Crystal, I think, who is?
Crystal Little.
Yeah. So yeah, I'll reach out to Crystal and see when she'll be able to come.
Okay, that would be great.
And then we'll make a splash of it.
Great.
But I also want us to, as a club, to reach out to the people that we have endorsed and let them know that, hey, we'd like to hear from you other than when you want our endorsement. So that's something else. Just have them come in and say what's going on in their area and let people, the gays in that area, know what's going on. I say gays, meaning all LGBTQ people. Okay, announcements. Any announcements? Excuse me. Liat, is there anything going on at the county level?
That would be Stephen. I am retired.
Oh, retired. Oh, okay. All right, Stephen. Anything that we should know about at the county level? Is Stephen on? Look, we have lost Stephen. Okay.
I know we had good news about, like Brenda said, she's going next Tuesday for her vaccine. So that's good news. Liat, I think you got your first dose, right? So those are good. Those are awesome announcements.
Yeah, I haven't got it yet. I'm going next week.
Okay, so both Liat and Brenda, that's encouraging.
Yeah, and I know Carol has gotten hers. Carol and Kathy.
Julie, have you?
Nope, not yet.
You should reach out, go to the solanocounty.com website, and you can, I think you can sign up there.
Now they give you a list of numbers to call. Yeah, like I belong to Sutter, and so I called Sutter and made my appointment. But I found the information out from the county website.
Yeah.
No.
Because I went and looked just because, I want to need a vaccine too. I was looking at it, I'm like, well, I'm not till summer. Oh, well.
Tom, would we be able to just put an easy link on a page like Solano Pride and on this, just so people can easily find out if they don't know how
Yeah,
to
we can
find
do
it?
that. Yeah.
A great
Let's make
idea.
it. Yeah.
Because I know, like I was pushing Wendell, I think he said the VA, he kept calling when he's going to get his from the VA. So I think everyone's at also different stages, that I think the more we can get the information out there, and like what Brenda's doing with the retirement homes and the senior homes, there's just so many people are out of the loop or in the loop. It's just, the more we can connect people, I think the better.
A friend of mine had a good way of doing it. Because with Kaiser, and she talked to her doctor, who said, oh, it's going to be a long time. And she said, well, can you put me on a wait list if somebody cancels? And they did, and she got a call within 2 days, and she's getting it done tomorrow.
Oh, wow.
Great.
I also heard
That
if
is
people are
great.
willing to drive, like people with Kaiser, if they're willing to go to Antioch, there was more accessible there than Vallejo.
Oakland
And
as well.
Oakland and Antioch. Okay.
there is also going to be a public health town hall style meeting to discuss COVID-19 vaccine rollout on January 22nd at 3:30 p.m. And it will be live streamed to the Solano County Health Facebook. But I will put this in the chat as well. You can go and check this out. So you can find out more info about what's going on. We'll put this out on, we'll put that there. There we go. So that is a link about the news from Solano County Public Health. And yeah, so it'll be live streamed to the their Facebook page. There's a link to their Facebook page. So that is tomorrow at 3:30. Check it out. You'll be able to submit questions via the chat feature during the Q&A. So that might be also where you can do that kind of thing. And then if you go to, there's a link on that page also that takes you to the COVID page. That will be where you can find information about getting your vaccine or getting vaccinated. Okay. Any more announcements? Anything else from the floor?
This is Joe Hayden. I've been aware of the John Muir Health. I worked for John Muir Health for 6 years, and putting the link in, their over 75 clinic has opened up for appointments. So if you can get to, especially the Concord or the Walnut Creek campus, you can make an appointment.
Super, thank you for that. Okay, well, I'll wrap these all up and put them into a thing for our folks.
An email.
Yeah, and okay, got it. All right, and so no more items from the floor. Thank you for that, Joseph. Our next meeting is February 18th, and just so we know, we have decided to move our meetings to the third Thursday of the month so that we can be in front of the Central Committee meetings, so that we can actually report out on something other than something that happened a month prior. And make sure that people are aware of things, and like our resolutions and stuff can get there. So just so we're clear, it's there. And I think we're just going to move it back to 7 o'clock. That seems to be when most people can get free. So look for that in emails and stuff. And with that, do I have a motion to adjourn?
Tom, real quick, mentioning Central Committee, since you
Oh,
want me
go
to
ahead.
talk during public comment at the next Central, can you make sure I get the link and that I'm invited with them so that I can make that public comment since I can't be on the agenda?
Sure thing. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. All right. With that, do we have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Okay, moved by Carol. Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, thank you for that, Susan George. All right, any nays? Any abstains? Okay, then that means that it passes because everyone agrees. Have a great night, everyone. Thank
Good
you so
night,
much
everybody.
for spending
Thank
time
you.
with us.
Everyone.
Stay
Bye.
well.
Bye, everybody. Take care.
Bye. Remember, be safe, wash your hands and everything. Don't touch your face. Because there's strains out that are very, very, very contagious. All right.
I have a question for you. Who's in charge of the senior program at Solano Pride?
That would be Marlette and Felix.
Okay.
So if you just send Marlette or Felix, Felix, at solanopride.org.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. And so Julie, yeah, we have a senior program. They meet every week if you're interested. They have a virtual lunch. And just email, and actually if you go onto the solanopride.org website, you can see it there.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
Okay, with that, everyone have a great night.